Hey guys, this is Jay with another helpful how-to for you. Now today we're going to show you how to pull video off of your DVR. First thing we want to make sure of is you're using the same model as us. So go ahead and take a good look at this one and ensure it matches yours. If it does, we're all set. Now in order to do this, we're going to need to make sure a few things are set up first. First, ensure the DVR is powered on. Once that is done, make sure you have a video output. Now, if one was not added to your system when you installed it, it's very simple. Just get one close enough, plug it into the back of the DVR where you see the HDMI or the VGA ports. Once the screen is powered up and you've got video, you're good to go. Next, ensure that the mouse is actually plugged in and powered on. Look for that light. If that is the case, you're all set. Last thing you're going to need is some sort of portable storage device. Now we recommend a flash drive, at least 2 gigs of memory just to ensure you have enough space for everything. Once you have all of those items, you're going to be all set to do this. Now today we're actually going to see who stole my truck. Earlier I parked outside, a couple minutes later looked and it was gone. So we're going to pull this video, see what's going on, put it on that flash drive and give it to the authorities. Okay, so now that we know all the things that we need to get this done and we've got it all set up properly, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So you're going to take your mouse and you're going to left click and that will bring in your system login screen. Now, using the information that you use on your phone app to log into your DVR, you should be able to use this drop down and find yourself in here. Now, if you don't have your login information, you can go ahead and use local access by selecting the 888888 username. And the password is the same as the username, 6 8s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and enter and hit OK. That's going to bring us into the main menu. Now from here there are a lot of options, but we're going to not need any of them other than this one up here that says search. So go ahead and select search and that brings up the playback menu. Now this does look intimidating, however it's very simple. So just go ahead and follow along with me. We're going to start in the top right and work our way down and around. Now, from the top right, we've got 2 options, and the DVR is simply asking us, do we want to look at recorded video, or do we want to look at pictures or snapshots? Now, most of our DVRs are installed just to look at recorded video. So what we're going to do is we'll just leave that on recording. Then we come down to the calendar. We have a few options down here. Now, the calendar works very simply. You've got dates that are highlighted and dates that are blank. The highlighted dates are the DVR's way of letting us know there is recorded video on those days. In other words, we can pull video from those days. The days that are not highlighted are telling us simply that there's no data there. There's nothing that was recorded or saved. And you can look at this calendar and see very simply why. Today is the 3rd, so we've got video that's been recorded up to this point, but you know, the 4th hasn't happened yet, so there's nothing there to be recorded or that has been recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the video for today to see where that truck went, and I'm going to leave it on the 3rd. Now we come down to the viewing screens. Now this is going to ask us how many cameras we want to view. So let's say in this instance I had 2 cameras looking at the front parking lot where the vehicle was. Well, I could leave it on this option here, which allows me to view up to 4 different camera screens at the same time, with the drop down selecting which camera. Now you'll notice this particular one has only 8 camera options for me, and that's because I'm using an 8-channel DVR. Now if you have a 4-channel or a 16-channel or even a 32-channel, it's going to give you all of those options accordingly. Just go ahead and pick which cameras you want to view. In my case, I don't have multiple cameras for the sake of this demo. I only have 1 camera. So I'm going to go ahead and select a full screen with 1 camera. And I'm going to go ahead and select my camera. Now all of that has given us this big bar here at the bottom. And this bar, you'll notice, starts at 0 and ends at 24. That's essentially 1 day, based on what day we picked in the calendar, which is today the 3rd. And you'll notice that there's 2 colors. There's gray and there's yellow. Now looking at this key down here, it's telling us yellow is motion. So anywhere there's a yellow spot or chunk of information, that means the camera recorded video based on movement. Everything that is gray is nothing. There's no video recording that we can pull from. So based on what the neighbor let me know this morning, when they pulled in at 10:30, my vehicle was in the driveway. Now, when I looked out the window at about 11:30, it was gone. So I've got a decent amount of time where I know the vehicle was taken, in between 10:30 and 11:30. So I'm going to go to this date, noticing again 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 24, and I'm going to look between 10:30 and 11:30, and there is a lot of yellow movement. So all I have to do is click any of that yellow, and it will immediately jump me to that particular time. And you can see where you're at up top. We're on March 3rd, 2016 at 10:51 a.m. So I know where I'm at, and my truck is still there. So there's two things you can do at this point. You can either keep selecting around in the yellow gaps to try and find where the event occurred, which is my personal preference, or you have options here as far as playback. You can go backward, you can pay slowly, so you can slow it down if you want greater definition, or you can just fast playback it. So I'll give you an example of both. We can double click fast and it tells you here, you're on fast 1, let's do it again, and it's fast 2. It'll slowly increase speed. And you can see up here, it is playing back faster. That's one option. I'm going to go ahead and resume play normal. Or you can just jump around until you see something. Okay, so we jumped all the way to 11:21 and see that the vehicle's now gone. So now I know there's something going on between 10:50 where we just were and 11:21. So that's where I need to be at. Now, what we can do, instead of randomly picking between this entire day's worth of data, we have some options down here in the lower right, 24, 2, 1, and 30-minute intervals. So once you get a good understanding of where you're at and what you need to see, you can limit this whole 24-hour day to these windows. I'm at 24 now. I'm going to go ahead and limit it to 1. Let's do 2. And now you can see my time starts at 11 and ends at 1, or 1300. So again, between 10:50, so let's go all the way to 11. So actually between 11, now we know the truck is still there, and 11:20 where I was is when, oh, look at that. That's where this happened. So we're looking at 11 o'clock almost on the dot. Some guy goes up to the vehicle, checks to see if it's unlocked, and sure enough, I left it unlocked. Shame on me. And he's in my truck, doing who knows what. Okay, so now that we know the time frame we're working with here, we're going to go ahead and put it onto the portable storage device. So once we make our settings as far as start time and stop time, we're going to go with 11 a.m. as a start, 11:03 as a stop, because we know that's when the truck's already gone. We can then click on this little icon here that says backup. It's a picture of a floppy drive. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to bring up our menu here for the backup. It's going to show us a bunch of different files. Now these are just all the separate video clips that occurred between the time frames we give them. Now you can go ahead and individually select which one you want to keep and which ones you don't. I'm not going to worry about that because we already set the times based on our parameters here. We also have a readout of how much available space is on our portable flash drive, which we got plenty. So now we're just going to click this button that says backup, and that's going to bring us to the actual backup menu. And I'm not going to change anything in here. I'm just simply going to tell it to start. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us this little time reading letting us know how long we have left until this is done. Okay, and once the backup is finished, we'll actually see the pop-up come on and say, hey, the backup is finished. All you got to do now is hit OK and use the right button on your mouse to click several times to get back out of all of this onto your main viewing screen. Once you've done that, you're all set. You can go ahead and remove the flash drive and hand it over to the authorities and make sure everything's good to go.